Welcome to Inside Times, coming to you live from Kids Heard to Hawaii. What's the matter? Are you missing your head?
Yeah, missing my head.
Well, and here we are, Inside Times, coming to you live.
Right. Is that 2 weeks ago we
From
did
Kids Heard
last
to
time?
Hawaii's Facebook page.
Right.
Yep, it was 2 weeks ago, and today we're back again, and we call it Inside Times
Because we are inside
we are inside.
and spend the time.
We're spending a lot of time inside.
Times.
And, yes, many times.
Yeah.
and also, you know, this time of being inside and kind of in quarantine to a great extent is about protecting ourselves and others during this pandemic. So we really want to encourage people to be safe, to wear your masks,
Right.
to limit, you know, your exposure to others and theirs to you. Not that you have it, but you don't know. You know, they don't know now. They can have it but not have symptoms, and
Right.
it's a horrible disease. Nobody wants to get it. You know, some people may have minor symptoms, but some people die.
Right.
So we really want to be conscientious about protecting ourselves and our children and our kupuna and, you know, our community, because we're seeing a surge like we didn't imagine could be possible.
Right.
Yeah, we were at stay-at-home order when the cases were far less than they are now.
Right. Yeah.
And,
It is,
you know, I think the governor is doing everything to try and protect businesses, but we also have to protect
The life.
our lives. And, you know, so let's just stay inside. But,
So
you know,
when
part of the
yeah.
problem is in this pandemic is that we don't get to see the people we normally get to see. We don't get to hang out with the friends we normally hang out with. You know, we're separated. Our families can't visit us from the mainland. We can't visit them. You know, there's just so many issues right
missing
now
my
that
dad.
we're missing people. You're missing your dad. We're missing people. I'm
daughter,
missing my
yourself.
daughter. You know,
Right.
we're missing people that we would normally get to spend time with, and so today we're going to talk a little bit about missing and what missing means. I know that missing somebody has always been a real difficult thing for me because, you know, as a child I was separated from both parents and 5 siblings and was in foster care, and so I missed my family. I missed them so much that my body hurt.
I remember that. Chest aching.
Yeah, it was like intensely painful and uncomfortable.
Right.
And so as an adult, it's like I was like, I am not missing anybody. That's just not going to happen. And I was really like working hard to not get so close to somebody that I would end up missing them if I was apart from them. Of course, when you have a child, that can happen. You get close. And, you know, unfortunately, I wasn't separated from her until she was an adult. And then we moved here and she stayed on the mainland. And that was hard for me. You know, then I missed her. And gosh, I feel like if I think about that and missing her now, I feel emotional. I feel a well of emotions come up. So
Right.
take a deep breath. So missing somebody means to be either connected or disconnected. You know, to miss people means to love them, to be partial to them, incomplete without them. And therefore missing the other part of what makes you whole. So other people are important in our lives. Other people help us to experience our wholeness by bringing out different aspects of ourselves. You know, so we have different people in our lives. We need lots of different people in order to experience different parts of ourselves. But in this day and time, we have to limit what people we are in contact with. And so our wholeness is threatened in some ways because we can't experience those parts of ourselves that, let's say, that friend or or my daughter brings out, we can talk on the phone, we can be in video chat, we can have different ways of connecting, but it doesn't provide the same physiological response.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important for everyone to recognize that being connected to somebody is actually a physiological experience. We don't always think of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But things happen inside of our bodies and our brains that actually bond us to other people. We have an increase in certain hormones and certain brain chemicals that are hyper, being produced at a much faster rate, and also being processed by our body at a much faster rate. So it's a little bit like a rush, that person gives
Right.
us. It's like our bodies get this surge and is
Mm-hmm.
processed really quickly, and it feels good,
Right.
and it brings about a sense of
Yeah,
happiness.
I just have experienced that. We had a little shooting at the, Makaha with Dwayne guys. And
A film
I was
shooting.
I was so happy to see Dwayne. And they're like, whoa, Dwayne. And then I would go around the corner. Then I saw Uncle Bruce. My heart was like, oh, then, his wife. And I just talked story. I was like so excited.
Yes,
Like,
your
wow.
body's responding
Yeah.
to them. It's not, it's seeing them stimulates
Right.
that
It
reaction
was.
in your
It was
body. It
rush.
makes you feel happy and
Yeah,
a
it was
rush.
so rush,
Right.
yeah.
It's exactly
Like I was
what I'm
almost like
talking
kids.
about.
Come on.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
so stoked to see them talk
Yeah.
story. We just couldn't, physically contact,
Right.
but it was
Can't
like us
hug, we
looking
can't-
into the eyes and,
Yeah.
like, oh, my son, I miss you. It's just like
Yeah.
so much rush. I felt so much rush that day.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Missing the kids in a group, for example, for
Mhm.
us, and, just
Mhm.
children,
Yeah,
laughing.
we're missing them. They're missing us. They're missing each other.
Mhm.
Being together, having that opportunity at Kids Hurt to process their own experience of grief and
Mhm.
trauma, and to work on that in a safe way. They're missing that healing environment. They're missing the people that are there to support them.
Mhm.
That presence of unconditional love that we bring to them through our volunteer support, through staff support, so yeah, there's a lot of missing going on in the
Mhm.
world right now.
Right.
Hmm.
I think just seeing online, that's I still get a rush,
Mhm.
see kids, laughing and bouncing around.
Doing
But
the online
yeah,
groups.
online groups.
Yeah.
But in person, it's like I think the energy just right there,
Yeah.
exchanging.
Well,
and-
in your body, you're getting a whole body reaction when you're seeing it on the the camera,
Mhm.
through the online group. It's just one dimension in a way,
Mhm.
maybe two if you count eyes and ears.
Mhm.
But in person, you get all the dimensions. You get
Mhm.
your physical body is actually reacting, not just your eyes and ears, but your whole physical body,
I think
all of your
the
senses.
cell of the body is kind of
Mhm.
acting out. like,
Yeah,
"Ah!"
excited.
That's a rush, right?
Excited, exactly.
I
And there's
feel it.
specific chemicals responsible for that in the
Mhm.
body that are normal, healthy. We all have it.
Mhm.
We just don't always recognize that these are chemically
Yeah.
based reactions, and that when we can't be connected in the same way, then we go through a withdrawal.
I remember when I was, at the orphanage, maybe once a month, my dad come around, and then when he comes and then I see him, distance, we're like, wow!
Yeah.
I couldn't, the energies,
Yeah.
or just, I don't know
Just
what to do with it. Just
run
like,
and-
wow! And then just touch him and hug him and smell him, and just like I was so happy,
Mhm.
I was so happy.
You remember that sensation?
Yeah, I just got
It
sensation.
was so strong.
Yeah, very strong.
Yeah.
I really,
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Super. And I was living for that moment.
Mhm.
Because knowing, he could stay only a couple hours and he has to go home and, back to the life with, left me in an orphanage. So, then I go, you know,
Oh, it's so sad.
so sad. It's just sad.
It is. It makes me want to
I couldn't
cry.
believe how did
Oh.
I, deal with it.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
so
that
hard
was-
for children.
Yeah,
you
that was
know.
hard. I
And
remember
then,
that.
the body does go through
Mhm.
physical withdrawal symptoms that resemble very closely depression and anxiety. So the body does have a reaction. So people often say, I don't feel like myself, or something doesn't feel quite right, or what's wrong with me. And it's really nothing wrong. It's what your body naturally does when it's no longer getting that surge of natural body hormones. So when being that you get from being with that person.
Mhm.
So that's total normal, healthy, albeit not fun,
Right.
response. So,
Just thinking about it makes me kind of go, smile.
yeah, still remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Even being with sisters, Catholic monastery, then there's a particular sister I just love so much and dearly, I just I always wanted.
And then you were separated from her.
Yeah, oh, that was hard. I
Yeah.
always thought, I want to go to see her. I want to go to see her. I think she was like my mother,
Right.
because I didn't have a memory of my mom.
Because you were so
yeah.
young,
Mhm.
and
So-
often young children
Always.
don't have memories, and
Yeah.
they don't have anyone. You didn't have anyone there to help you form memories or to share memories with you.
Mhm.
And it's important for you very young children who don't have memories of a parent that dies, that somebody shares memories about that
Right.
person and helps them create memories that become their own.
Mhm.
Yeah, they didn't have that direct experience, but they indirectly have it through hearing about stories of the person they're missing, and that relationship
Right.
of love that they had for the child and for the surviving parent. Just hearing about that can create a sense of memory or pseudo memories that can be satisfying for young children.
But nowadays, there's videos and,
That's
you can
right.
do it.
Hopefully, people
So
will
many,
look
there's
at
a
pictures,
device, yeah,
look
pictures
at
and
videos.
videos, and
A lot of people like to listen to the voice because
Mhm.
they miss their voice and they're afraid they're going to lose the memory of their voice. And so having something that still has a voice can really be helpful to that. Yeah.
Right. Luckily, I have Anna, my oldest sister.
It sounds like your mother.
Yeah, that's why I just call when I miss my
Mhm.
mom, and I just call Anna. Then, that's great. This is my mom. Usually I don't, but that helped.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wondering how. Yeah, you are just so hard. When you missing like middle of the night, like when you wanna cry, or you just wanna be with that person.
Yeah.
The comfort by that person. But I couldn't, and now people couldn't. Especially kids who are in foster care, then divorced and parents are incarcerated, and I'm sure they want to spend the time. Sometimes very difficult time and want to be with the person, but they cannot. A lot of foster kids cannot.
Yeah, and this is the thing I want to stress around foster children is that, sometimes people think, because they're coming out of abusive homes or homes where they're neglected, that they don't have any right maybe to miss that person, or that we don't recognize that they're still going to miss them, because children are seeing their parents with unconditional love. They're seeing the parent that's in their heart, and in their soul, that unconditionally loves and accepts them. And the real parent in the world is often not like that, but it doesn't stop us from yearning and longing for and missing the person, because that's who we see. That's who children see, that they don't see the abuser. Other people might see the abuser because they're not connected, they're not bonded to them, but their children see that parent that they're missing, you know, as that unconditionally loving parent. So a lot of people don't understand that about children and don't honor their capacity for unconditional
Right.
love and acceptance.
Mhm.
And so they're, you know, they kind of get criticized or
Mhm.
told not to feel that way, or, you know, things are said to them that is not helpful. And so we really have to be aware that children who go into foster care are deeply missing the parents or other family members that they're connected to, that they're separated from. Their siblings, aunties, uncles, grandparents. I mean, I was separated from everyone, and my life as a child was so consumed by despair and, you know, and missing, and the pain of missing, that I didn't want to feel anything. So I just basically lost most of my childhood. I don't have a lot of memories because it was easier to not feel or think or you know, be present in my own life than to be present and feel that despair and that pain. So we want to really remember that children are missing
Mhm.
their family members, and that hurts. That is painful
Yeah,
for
you're
them.
right.
And so we have to find a way, hopefully in our social welfare system, our child welfare system, to support children as they grieve.
Mhm.
Because when they go into foster care, they are grieving children,
Mhm.
and they may also be traumatized.
Yeah, last time. I remember
Excuse me.
I was crying for missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to see
Yeah.
my dad. You know, I was crying.
And how do adults
Missing,
respond? Shut up.
Yeah, just,
Stop crying.
Yeah, smack 'em.
You know, say something bad about the parent. You know,
Well,
I've
usually,
heard so many
right,
horrible
yeah.
stories. You know,
That's why a
and
lot of foster kids run for families.
right, they run
Mom,
away
brother and sisters, and they
because
run.
their body is
Yeah, they're
experience
longing
that. They're
so hard,
longing, yes,
so
wanting that
much.
connection
Yeah.
back, wanting that bond, wanting, you know, to relieve that sense of missing
Mhm.
someone.
Right.
Because it's, you know, like I said, it mimics depression and anxiety. So right now, you know, we're not only having anxiety from the fears around this, pandemic,
Mhm.
but there's also a lot of depression from the missing people
Mhm.
that we have. We're missing people. We're missing our family. We're missing, you know, our friends. You know, we're missing our coworkers. We're
Mhm.
missing our lives the way they used to be. So there's just so much missing happening, and
Yeah.
a lot of depression and
Mhm.
anxiety and mental health problems. And I mean, I have never had a problem with anxiety that I couldn't cope with. You know, I've had anxiety, but nothing that excuse me, I couldn't handle. Now I feel like I can't handle it.
Mhm.
It's getting the best of me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need therapy.
Mhm.
It's because it's just so intense sometimes, um, and I'm sure, you know, all the resources that I have with you
Mhm.
and you know that there's people out there having a lot more difficult time because
Mhm.
they don't have the same resources that I have. So I kind of like, right, you know, keep a perspective. Yeah, I'm having some anxiety, but hey, it's nothing compared to, you know, what a lot of people are going through. So,
Mhm.
you know, thank you for being here and the support
Right.
system, and
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Our ED is Tanya is missing, you know, her
Missing her
daughters, and
children,
that's completely
yes.
understandable.
They were going to come to Hawaii,
Right.
but now we're in, you know, quarantine
Mhm.
stuff, and it's kind of hard to come. Oh, look.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
We missing you
Tina.
too.
Yeah.
They're in the mainland, Las Vegas, I think. Hi guys.
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah.
time.
Tupo is like a mom now, you know, with a little
Aw.
baby.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you guys are safe and well, and
Mhm.
Thanks for tuning in. So, you know, grief is one thing. You know, you're going to miss somebody for sure,
Mhm.
you know, after a loss. That's just inevitable. You know,
Mhm.
missing somebody is going to happen. Missing somebody when they die, missing somebody when you're separated, you know, and so, but grief is a lifelong process.
Mhm.
Grief is something that you have to deal with over a lifetime, you know, and it grows and develops as you grow. Oh,
Sebastian, he's in the army.
in the
Yeah,
army.
yeah, I saw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah. He's
Dashin
good
is
looking.
going
Dashing.
into the Air Force.
Woo!
Oh,
My goodness.
wow.
See, I'm missing them. Just so, you know, just like cells. I got,
Yeah.
you know, thinking about them.
Oh, it's so nice for you.
Thank
to
you,
tune
thank you for
in
tuning in.
to,
Yeah, you know, miss you too. I can
I
just
know
see
it's
her big
hot. It's
eyes.
hot
Yeah.
in Vegas
Oh,
right
really?
now. Oh, they're having some real heat waves in that part
I
of
think
the
they're in the
country.
Vegas. Are you guys in the Vegas or Washington? I think I thought it was the Vegas.
Yeah.
Ah,
She'll let us know in a minute.
yes.
Wait, let's see. Here we go. Oh,
No,
that's,
not that.
okay.
Wow, Dashin and Sebastian, people.
So I just want to say, you know,
Mhm.
that missing is just a small part of grief. I mean, grief is a bigger
Mhm.
form of transformation and change.
Mhm.
You know, it's a bigger part of our lives, and you know, but missing somebody can be temporary. You know,
Mhm.
that can be relieved by connecting with them, by
By
you know,
looking at
phone
pictures,
calls,
phone
looking at
call,
pictures, going online. You know, gosh, I'm thinking about, you know, like
back to the memory.
not that long ago, you know, we're 25 years, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't
Right.
have YouTube and Facebook and all these different platforms
Mhm.
for connecting with people. So yay, you know,
Right.
we got these resources now that
Mhm.
we didn't have then, and so it's really awesome.
Back,
And
back then, goodbye means goodbye.
yeah,
You know,
right, right,
maybe write letter. And,
yeah.
you know,
And I wasn't good at writing letters.
I
Nobody, you
don't.
know, when you're in
No,
foster
I
care,
didn't. Yeah.
or when I was in foster care, nobody sat down and said, "You need to write a thank you letter for
Yeah,
this. You need to
no.
write a letter."
I'm
Nope.
horrible.
And well, you got it's a skill that you learn as a child, and somebody
Yeah.
has to instill that in you. And well, that was the only form of communication back in the day.
Mhm.
You know, it wasn't instilled in me, so I'm really, you know, have to work on that all the time to maintain some kind of connection through writing. You know, that's a tough one for me. But
Right.
phone calls, I remember when phone calls were so expensive, right? When you
Yeah.
called somebody, it cost a lot of money, you know, and didn't have a lot of money to pay for phone calls, and so that meant that nobody got called if they didn't live in, you know, in the state where I lived, and so yeah, so that's changed. You know, I'm really grateful for that. I'm really
Mhm.
grateful to have that shift
Right.
and those things. And but here's the interesting part about how you deal with missing somebody. It's very similar to how you deal with grief. You can do creative activities like
Mhm.
art and writing and cooking and drawing and coloring. You know, just creative activities actually to some extent simulate that same chemical reaction in the body
Mhm.
that you have when you're connecting and bonding with somebody. So these can be relieving. You know, these activities can be relieving to the body, into that sensation of missing somebody in the body, decreasing that sense of depression or anxiety around their absence. And so this is, you know, again, one of the main things that we do at Kids Hurt Too is we provide creative outlets for children to express grief in their bodies and or trauma in their bodies so that they can process through more of a creative expression and not necessarily through talking, right? Talking's one way, but it's not right for everybody, and especially not for children.
Mm.
But, and the same with writing, you know, I mean, one activity isn't the right activity for every single person.
Mhm.
So we provide lots of different options that children can choose, because children will know and they will choose the one that is going to match their need in that moment.
Yeah.
And so creative activities can also help us with with our sense of missing somebody. And yes, we may, and hopefully will, God willing, I should say, see the people that we're missing again. We'll see them again, if not on Facebook or
Right.
on television or through talking with them on the phone, but we'll see them in person again. We just have to get through this time. This is a temporary time. Unprecedented in our country, in our world, that we will get through this. We'll get through it together. We're going through it together. We'll get through it together. So we just have to be patient. We got to have the patience of saints, really. The patience that we didn't know we had. The ability to tolerate limits in our lives and changes. These are huge changes in how we connect and relate to each other, changes in how we dress, and how we act around other people. These are big changes, not to mention some of the more damaging changes that people are going through, financial insecurity, domestic violence because
Right.
of, the issue. There's just so much to deal with right now. We really wish you all the best, and
Yeah.
we hope that you are doing your part to
Right.
keep yourself safe
Right.
and try to do some things to help yourself with the anxiety or the depression that this is all bringing
Right.
about. Try something creative.
Like nowadays, if you think, if you miss somebody, you can just give a call, text, that can be a very easy. Not, I mean, cannot meet them, but at least reconnect. Whoever think about person you're
Yeah.
missing and friends and
Yeah.
maybe that's why teens always talking because they're missing so much friends. Right?
I think it's more than that,
Oh,
but
more than
yeah,
that,
it's
yeah.
probably a big part of it too.
Right.
But yeah.
Now they kind of easy.
Yeah.
Well, some people don't have access, internet. Remember,
Right.
25%, of the
Children in
children
Hawaii
yeah.
don't have access to the
Yeah.
internet, and
So
that's So try some creative outlets, simple things. I know a lot of people. I don't feel like a creative person, but lately I've been writing poetry. Like, I haven't written poetry since college. I mean, a little bit, since, but nothing like I've been doing lately. It's like unusual for me to be creative and to have the energy for creativity and writing poetry. I wrote a lot of poetry in college. I even did poetry slams and
like a brain.
he remembers. Oh yeah, so it was even later than that. I was writing poetry when you and I met. I was involved in that. That's right. I've kind of forgotten. It's been a while, but I've been doing that again lately.
It's good.
Yeah.
You should write about your poet book.
Finish my book. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Almost finished. I'm really mostly finished. I just have to finish. So yeah, the creative part is over. That's more like the finishing it, meaning
Editing. No.
well, I got to do my bibliography and and then it'll be finished. So
I'm gonna translate that things. I'm gonna get called Makiko.
we'll see. So
I don't do it.
yeah.
That's not touch screen.
Oh, you're right. I saw somebody there. There we go. Aw.
What?
Sweet. I know it's Tina saying something else.
Yeah, thanks, Tina.
Yeah.
Wow, dashing going to the
Yeah.
Air Force.
So, key points, and then
Mhm.
we'll conclude for today.
Right.
Okay, key points. One, when you miss somebody, it's a chemical response in your body.
Mhm.
Your body has a chemical reaction when you're bonding and connecting with somebody. There are
Mhm.
hormones and brain chemistry that are responsible for bonding with other people and connections to other people.
Mhm.
And then when we're apart from them, then our body goes through kind of a chemical withdrawal,
Mhm.
slows down the production of those chemicals, slows down the processing of those chemicals, and we feel out of sorts. We don't feel like ourselves, and we kind of start to have symptoms that resemble depression and anxiety
Mhm.
because our body is going through this chemical withdrawal.
Mhm.
So it's a withdrawal basically. So uh, keep that in mind, and it's okay. Your body is doing what your body needs to do, and what your body does do when you're separated from. and,
Put it up on Facebook.
and then
People can
the
watch.
other part is to help relieve those sensations or those symptoms of withdrawal from those natural brain chemistry chemicals and hormones. Um, to relieve that, you can do creative activities like drawing, writing, um, cooking, um, coloring, music. All of these. There's so many different things you can do. Just coloring. The doodle books that for adults, or just doodle drawing. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a creative activity. You actually stimulate the production of those same chemicals in your brain and your body that you get when you're connected with people. So, do those things to help relieve those symptoms and stay in touch as best you can.
Think about something
Remember,
funny. The things you did with a person who you're missing.
so that,
Just think
yeah,
about my dad and my dad jokes, and crack me up.
yeah, that helps.
That kind of things.
Yeah, yeah,
Things.
very good. Yeah,
I just did it. Oh.
yeah. So remember, you use those memories to your own benefit, and then make that phone call,
Mm-hmm.
write that letter if you're still doing that. Go on Facebook, stay in touch, reach out, connect, but also be kind to yourself
Right.
and be gentle with yourself, because this is a difficult time. We're all going through withdrawals from the people that we love. We're all feeling that separation and missing our loved ones. So please continue to be patient with yourself, with others, with the world, and there will come a time that we can celebrate together. So take care, and we'll wish you a holy hope.
Right.
Bye.
Go surf.
And of course, you can go surf.
Yeah,
You go surf. Wait,
Right.
shoot, I have a hard time seeing the cursor. Sorry. Where's the cursor?